Hello, this is Russell from Tones of Evil, and you're listening To Know Her Is to Fear Her, the Spider-Woman podcast.
Hi, Jessica.
Who the hell are you?
The woman who's going to save your life.
Welcome back, Spider Babies, to Know Her Is to Fear Her, the Spider-Woman podcast. We're your hosts, Seren and Rey.
Hey, hello, Seren. It's been a while, but I'm glad that we're back here for another action-packed, a new era of modern comics that we'll be covering.
Yes, today we will be discussing New Avengers #1 by Brian Michael Bendis. So, this is a very exciting issue for Spider-Woman fans because it's basically the first time she's shown up in a comic since her last one ended.
Yes, a huge, I guess, sabbatical, whether it was not, intended or not. But yep. It actually listed Seren in the Wiki. Like, it's listed as her first appearance. And I understand what they're trying to say, but I guess it's her first appearance for some time. So,
yeah, because she did appear in the Maddie Franklin run of Spider-Woman.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
a little bit, but she wasn't Spider-Woman. This is her first, Jessica Drew's first appearance back in the Spider-Woman suit.
Yeah.
Since her comic ended. Well, she did have that stint in Avengers where they brought her back, but outside of that, this is her first appearance as Spider-Woman in the Spider-Woman suit since 1979 or 1980.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, that's a significant time far out. So let's hope that never happens again. But before we dive into that, Saren, how's it going? I know you've been really busy with work, myself included, but we managed to sneak this one in at the end of February.
We did. It's been a little bit crazy, guys, and I'm real tired. And it's about to get a little bit crazy again this weekend, so I'm glad we were able to fit it in.
Yes.
Literally, we would schedule stuff, and then I would fall asleep or completely forget because my brain was so tired.
Yeah.
So I apologize.
No. I feel bad for you. You've been run ragged. So yeah. So hopefully
I love my job, but the problem is that there are deadlines and people get things in after the deadline. So
silly people.
Yes. I can't do my job till they get their job stuff to me. So
Yeah, so you're reliant on. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every year, never fails. Anyway, so we have some news.
Mm-hmm.
Not big news, not like before, but we got some good stuff. So, the Across the Spider-Verse Jessica Drew Funko Pop is available for pre-order at Entertainment Earth, and she looks quite fabulous.
Boom.
Get your pre-order in. She's coming out, I think, in May. I have not pre-ordered mine in
I haven't yet
but
either.
I will be doing that probably come my next paycheck, whenever that may be.
Mm-hmm.
I know when it will be, but anyway.
And she's got a little baby bump as well.
She does. So that's very cool. Very excited for that. Make sure you get your pre-orders in. The whole point of Across the Spider-Verse, guys, let them know you love Jess.
Yes.
And that she's a badass and you want it. So if you see her merch, get it. I think her Legends is not available for pre-order, but it did leak some months ago.
Yeah,
also
it did.
Badass.
Yeah, they always have prototypes and stuff, but I guess that's really early days because I've not heard a peep from.
Neither have I, but either it was photoshopped, or I don't think it was though, because that looked pretty legit and pretty good.
It looked pretty. If it was a hoax, then full credit, and I tip my hat to whoever did it because it looks pretty good. So yeah.
Yes. Also, we're getting our dynamic duo, Carla and Para. teaming up again for a Spider-Rex story. I think that's coming out in May too. I can't recall. But make sure you get it just for them. They are calling out to Spider Babies, so I'm wondering if we might get a Jess cameo in there.
I have a feeling that we will. I don't know.
Yeah, because Paris teased some stuff on Instagram, I think.
He has, and it is cryptic, but I'm taking it to mean that we might get a glimpse of Jess in there, which will be fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
and when Carla and Para team up, it's gonna be fucking amazing. So
it's like getting the band back together, Seren.
Right? Like they're just so good together. I love it. I cannot wait.
Exactly.
I will make sure you put your pre-orders in. I don't know when the final order cutoff for that issue is. I don't think it's passed yet, so make sure you order it, guys.
Yeah. I have been dropping off. I haven't picked up the because it's an Edge of Spider-Verse or something it's coming out in tandem with the adjectiveless Spider-Man, which Dan Slott's kind of ending the Spider-Verse on in the comics. So this is I'm assuming this is part of that, but I haven't been keeping tabs on it, but definitely will pick up.
I need to because they killed Jess off, so I'm assuming she's coming back. But
I'm collecting that Spider-Man title, but the these kind of, I guess they're kind of one shots and stuff. The Edge of Spider-Verse. I haven't been. I think I got issue 1, which is really cool. I'll definitely get Color and Perez for sure. I mean, that's signed, sealed, and delivered, Seren.
Yeah, they're like Somni and Wade, and Wilson, when the three of them get together, you're in for a good read.
Yes,
that's basically Carla and Para and Frank D'Armata. You get them together, and you're in for a good time.
You're in for a good time. It's time for another reread of their run. I think I might have to do that.
I think you're right.
Just to refresh myself with it.
Yeah.
Definitely be doing that. Seren, I'm gonna throw it out. I'm gonna throw you out there now. This is not in the prom sheet, but a bit of news. Your hoodie didn't.
Oh, my hoodie.
Didn't.
Yes. Yeah. So guys, when you get the hoodie, it's an amazing hoodie. I got the regular hoodie. I got your generic basic hoodie. It's a nice hoodie. It is a nice heavy hoodie. It is very nice. But when you wash that sucker, make sure you follow the instructions on it, because I threw that shit in the dryer and I didn't even think about it. I put it on medium, and it looks like I've worn, the print on it looks like I've worn it about like 150 times because it's starting to wear off already. But don't put it in the dryer on anything above low temperature.
But also, Seren, silver lining, that kind of looks like it's, weathered and worn and not,
It does, but it's a little lopsided. It's more heavy on one side than the other. Like if it wore evenly, it'd be badass. But it does not exactly look evenly worn. I don't care. I'm still wearing it anyway because it's a really great hoodie and it's warm and I like it. And the t-shirt also, actually the t-shirt handled the dryer better because I also put the t-shirt in there. The t-shirt I picked handled the dryer a little bit better than the hoodie did. I think whenever the material, like the screening, because it's a thicker material, doesn't quite take as much as it does like when the t-shirt's much thinner. It's very comfy. So
I want you to be using that at cons and people coming up to you going, "Whoa, where did you get that?" And I want you to say, like, "Oh,"
or they're gonna come up to me and go, or they're gonna come up to me and go, "Hey, are you Seren?" And I'll be like, "Yes," which is really actually kind of crazy because back when I was doing Adelan Rising, I was talking to a creator and somebody came up to me and went, "Are you Seren?" And I went,
"Oh wow. Really?"
Yes. And they're like, "I listened to your podcast," and I went, "That is wild."
That is awesome. Far out.
That was the wildest experience. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Apparently I have a very distinct voice, so
Nice. So they recognize you through the voice, or okay, so cool. Nice.
I'm drinking a milkshake, guys, as we speak here. But yes, it's a strawberry milkshake. It's very good. Yeah, but they recognize my voice and they go, "Are you Seren?" And I'm like, "How did you know?"
Were you? I mean, you're obviously thrilled, but was a bit of you like not concerned, but just a little bit,
Oh, it's definitely weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really cool though because I kind of also knew who they were, like because they comment on our stuff, but like
Yeah,
once they asked me and they told me who they were like online, I was like,
That
oh,
was
cool.
oh, okay, yeah, okay, that makes
Yeah.
that's a lot better as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it was just one of those weird things. Like I don't even know who was I talking to. I think I was talking to Marguerite Bennett.
Oh, okay.
No, Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
About what was she writing? I think she had just started Animosity, and I was talking to her about that. And she wrote Angela, and her Angela comic was going on at the time, and that was amazing as well.
Yeah.
So you should read her shit, guys. She's really great.
Awesome.
So yeah, I think I was talking to her, and
Nice.
someone came up to me, and it was just like it was like really wild.
Spin
it was
out.
really wild.
Yeah, that's
very
good.
cool.
That's it. We've got to apply that celebrity, Seren, to our Spider Woman podcast. You know.
Well, we would if I had gotten brave enough this year at NYCC to ask a question. I would have, but I did not get brave this year, and I did not ask a question.
That's
not true. I did go up to Nick Lowe, I think, at one point after a thing, and I asked him about something, and he knows who I am. So.
Yeah, you.
Oh yeah, Nick Lowe. No, Nick Lowe. He hasn't seen me since like C2E2 2020. But I went up and he goes, "Hey, Seren," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's me."
Really?
You remember?
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
he remembers me.
Oh.
When you write enough and you're at enough cons and they see you at like every con you go to, they remember. I will tell you, they remember, because also CB one time, I think it was also at C2E2, I asked a question about Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to me, he goes, "You really like Captain Marvel?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do. I also like Spider-Woman." And he goes, "Yeah, I remember you from your Comic-Con." And then he gave me a really, really, really rare comic, and that was pretty rad. And then someone says, "How much do you want for that?" And I went, "It's not for sale."
Oh.
I probably could have said $10,000 because it was only like one of those like, yeah. And I could have said $10,000, probably would have given it to me. But like I said, no, this is not for sale. He gave it to me for a reason.
Yeah.
And they only give them for special reasons. Like they like, literally there are covers. Like when you go to a Comic-Con, guys, like like CB and Tom Brevoort, and they have issues of comics where I have a couple of these now. I had one for Wolverine that I gave to my old Adelan Rising co-host Adam, and then I have one for Captain Marvel, and one for Captain Marvel, and I've got one for the comic. It's a comic that came out a while ago, and it was just like one shots with all the ladies. It was like a female-centric comic. Okay. And it was like, but literally there are only 25 issues in existence of this comic.
Oh.
Just 25. Like, it's not like a 1 in 25 incentive cover. There are literally only 25 of this cover.
Wow.
Right?
Well, then don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, I've got 2 of them, and one of them's in the UK. I gave that to a friend.
Oh.
So I gave it to, like I said, I gave it to Adam. So he's got a Wolverine one. And I actually have that one. Yeah, that one is actually, I got that one signed for him before I gave it to him. So.
Ah, lovely.
So, you go to a con and you make yourself known enough.
That's it. You can,
cool shit, really cool shit happens sometimes, guys.
That's really, you put in the effort. I mean, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and no, but really, like, when you care and you're respectful, like, with how you care.
Yeah.
And you don't get angry and mad, like, or you show your passion for a comic in a way, like, right, which is how I got the one cover from CB.
Mm-hmm.
Was that, he's like, "You really love Carol. I've seen you here all weekend," and and he gave me it. So like,
that's awesome.
It really is very, very cool, and like, it's just like when you like show that kind of thing, and you like, I don't know, they make a point to like. Be like, "Hey, I could tell that you care," and have this as like being a really good fan sort of thing, I guess. I don't know. It's just like, it's really cool.
Yeah,
I know we all complain every now and then, and we get a little jaded and we get frustrated, but in the end, when you go to these cons and stuff, they'll hear you out.
Yeah, exactly. If you, as you say, if you're respectful and you approach it the right way, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Also, as well, Sarah, I just got to let you know, there's a little bit of Jabba news. The Marvel Champions board game has arrived.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
It's so good. I only got it yesterday. It came in the mail. I've got a ton of. It's a little bit overwhelming. I've got to say that.
Yeah. No, I heard you got a lot, dude. I saw the picture you sent me, and you got a lot.
Yes, I
Like,
got.
you officially have more than I do, because all I have,
Yeah.
truly, all I have is I have the Marvel Champion Space Game,
Yep.
Rise of the Red Skull,
Yep.
and then I've got, who do I have? I got a couple. I got Black Widow expansion. I've got
Nice.
Ms. Marvel, and I've got someone else.
Yeah, the hero packs.
Wasp, I think. The hero packs.
Yeah.
I got Miss Marvel, Black Widow, and I think Wasp.
Okay, yeah. I do. I went a bit crazy. It was through a private sale, so I got the core set. I got that. I'm just looking at it, 3 expansion like sets, which is one of them's got the Spider Woman one, the Rise of the Red Skull, and then there's like 20. I got like 20 hero packs, so I've got a universe already. So I've only
apparently Doctor Strange and Spider Woman are the best ones.
Oh, I've got Doctor
apparently,
Strange. Okay.
Yeah, you've got Doctor Strange in your picture.
Yes.
And apparently, from what I understand, with the expansion packs, Jess is even better.
I can't wait to. But I want to be able to know.
She is apparently very good and very flexible in how you can build her packs compared to other ones, and apparently she's amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait. As soon as I am good enough, I guess, to play it and understand the game, I want to try Jess's I don't know, what do you call it, avatar or player build. Yeah. So
because it's a deck building game is what it is. It's all about building your decks, and you can get in. And what's really interesting too is that Carol has a deck, and it was very funny is that both Jess and Carol have each other as like supporting cards in their deck.
Yep.
So, but there are rules like against that. Like if you have another player playing Carol, you can't have the Carol card in Jess's deck, and vice versa.
Ah, okay.
Like I could be wrong though, but like they because they're BFFs, and again, kudos to the Marvel Champions people being fucking awesome and paying attention to Jess. No, really, like when you read about the Jess deck when they were doing reviews for her, and I was watching the reviews for her deck, they really studied the character and put so much thought into her deck. She is like literally the best Jessica Drew of any game ever. They actually like went, this is this character. And we're gonna do all these cool things. And she is exactly how she should be. She is fucking versatile and like almost like she could be anything you want with this game more than any other character. She's like a fucking chameleon. And that's basically how I see Jess kind of. I mean, she's really angry, but you know what I mean? Like she it's so good how they built her. I'm like I was so tickled when I was reading the reviews of how they built her. She's really good.
Oh yeah, is there like a YouTube or something where they do a?
Yeah, there are reviews on YouTube about her particular deck, and I think even on Reddit, and that's where I was really expecting her to get flamed was on Reddit. Oh no, they love her on Reddit. Or well, last I checked, they did. Now I got to go on Reddit and see how they feel about her now. I'm gonna go to the Marvel Champions.
Well, I mean, so that expansion set, Rise of the Red Skull, you get Spider Woman and you get Hawkeye from memory, and then you get all the other cards. It's I spent most of the night last night just reorganizing the cards because being a private sale, the cards were kind of all over the place. So I wanted to start at the very beginning. So I've just started playing the Spidey and Rhino because that's they want you to it's almost like a tutorial for those that haven't got the game. You kind of get led through it, and so I'm just going through with the instruction booklet one at a time what I need to do. So yeah, it's very exciting. It's very exciting. It's here. I guess it will, and you can play it as a single player as well. So I guess it will keep me busy as well. Want to slowly build it up. I mean, there's the other ones. There are whole things like expansions on like Thanos and his like quest, and then there's Guardians of the Galaxy, which is I've got as well, and so it looks really good.
Awesome. So my most recent thread that I could find on Spider-Woman, she's not an S tier deck anymore. Apparently Doctor Strange, Miles, and Ironheart are absurdly overpowered.
Oh wow.
Scarlet Witch is 2, Cap is dangerously close. So Spider-Woman though is quote unquote merely very good, but also very versatile.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
But it's her deck building apparently that gets people frustrated because she's so versatile. It can be a little overwhelming.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like.
Okay. Can I ask a really dumb question, Seren? I mean,
Yeah, never a dumb question because I haven't really played the game. I'm just what I read.
Okay, just like with the deck building, right? So from what I understand, and again, spider babies, anyone who knows, let us in the loop. So when you say deck building, do you accumulate? You still have the same number of cards in your hand, right?
Right, but you could take cards from other decks to make your deck better. So like
Yeah.
Spider Woman, they're like you have justice cards, protection cards,
Yes.
and you can mix those because she comes. I think her default deck is like justice and protection,
Mm-hmm.
but then some people do like a justice and something else. Um,
Okay.
Someone here has her as leader protection. Um, like she's insanely versatile with her cards,
Okay.
and there's apparently one deck you could build with her that apparently because there's this Agent Coulson card that apparently is a bit overpowered,
Oh.
and there's a build you can do with Jessica to always have that card in play.
Oh.
So and it yeah,
This is
it's kind of
wild. This
crazy.
is wild. I can't wait to get into it. I've really got to study this manual
Yeah,
front and back.
she's she's and then there's someone
Yeah.
here saying like um she's got some crazy good stuff. There's actually this one thread I'm looking in. There's like um there's some debate going in this thread. Some people are like, "Oh, she's like," they all agree she's really good, but then
Mm.
some people are like, "Nah, she's overpowered," and some she's aren't. And then some
Okay.
are like, she relies on having good turns, and if you have a bad code, you're pretty screwed. But I don't know.
Okay.
It's really
Yeah.
she's it's really hard.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much to consider here. Like, so again, I'm learning it just as we go now. So you can attack enemies, you can thwart their schemes. There's actions which you can employ. You can get support from allies, all that sort of stuff. I'm
Right.
I'm just learning it. It sounds really cool. Plenty to
I
learn
just sent
from.
you the link to the Reddit
Oh,
thread
I
in
love it.
our Twitter chat. So
Love it. Yeah, so we'll have to I don't know, check it out. I'll have to maybe ask questions to Seren every now and
yeah,
again. It's a lot of fun. So yep, that's finally
yeah.
arrived. Took a few months to pay pay off, but the guy was very generous in allowing me to pay installments. I thought it was a steal. I mean, just for what I got, Seren, it was just it's crazy. So he's going overseas, so he just wanted to get rid of it. So I thought I'd just jump onto it, and yeah,
Yeah.
great opportunity.
Mhm.
Mm.
So let me know what you think. I think you'll really like the game.
Yeah, I think I will as well.
Also a fun one too, since we're speaking of games.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel United, if you've been on that, recently had another Kickstarter for their season 3 expansion,
Oh,
which I've bought into seasons 1 and 2. So I kind of plugged into season 3 a little bit.
yep.
Not nearly as bad as the previous 2. But they have as a bad guy now, we now have the High Evolutionary
Oh, nice.
on that. So
Yep.
that's kind of fun.
I
And
mean,
also
yeah.
they did a secret invasion deck, which
Oh,
I don't know. Obviously it didn't really have a Jess with it,
mm-hmm.
but it had Veronke with it. And I was kind of wondering if they have rules in the set for the Spider-Woman card deck specifically, but I don't know. I'll have to look.
Okay.
I'm not going to get it till like August, so
Interesting. Well,
that's all
yeah,
right.
keep the eyes peeled for that. I mean, High Evolutionary,
Mm-hmm.
of course, tied into Jess, but obviously tying
And
into
then
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 as well.
and they also did a pet expansion. So,
Oh,
Jeff the Land Shark now has his
oh,
own like he they
awesome.
had Jeff with the Gwenpool. Like he's on the little Gwenpool mini.
Yeah.
But now Jeff has his very own mini.
Oh,
His very own playable support character.
that's pretty
And I'm very
cool.
happy with that. Lockjaw was not part of the set. Chewie was, but they called her Goose there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you
But
mentioned.
Lockjaw's comes with the Inhuman set, so
Okay,
he's not part of it.
makes sense. Yeah, yeah, cool. Well, I mean, that's yeah, pretty good. We don't get to talk too much on games, so I'm glad that we
We don't.
on the front and connected with Jess. So that's good.
I think
Little.
I think Jess is now available in a couple of the video games, but I'm so out of the loop on those.
Oh, you mean like on the smart devices, like the
Yeah, like she's in
tablets? Yeah.
Future Fight, which she has been for a couple years now, and she's
Yeah.
actually very fun on Future Fight.
Okay.
But I think now she's finally in the other Champions game, and then I'm looking at Midnight Suns, and with Carol and Midnight Suns, there's a lot of Jess mentions
Oh,
in
okay.
Midnight Suns, and I'm wondering if maybe, I don't know how Midnight Suns works, but I'm wondering if we'll get like a Jess,
potentially
a Jess in an expansion or something.
That'd be cool.
Maybe.
So you were referring to before Contest of Champions? Is she?
Yes,
in that?
that's the one. I think she's finally in that one.
It's a long time coming. That game has been on for years and years and years.
Yeah, people love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good game. I haven't really played it, like I said, like the one game that there are two games that I religiously played. If Avengers Academy mobile game had not become so crypto money, like pay to win.
Oh yeah.
If it hadn't become that way, that game has some of the best writing.
Yeah.
And that was the other best Jess I have ever seen. The Jess in that game was amazing.
Is that still going around? Is that
no,
it stopped,
that
right?
game's off.
Yeah,
that game's offline, but she was really fun in that one.
Yeah.
And then there was another one. It was like the little what was it? I can't remember. But they were like little chibi versions of like characters, and I had Jess in that one, and it was I played that one. I was addicted to that game. That game, I played a lot of that game. And I was very good at it, and then they took it offline, and I was very sad because I really liked that one.
Yeah. I used to play Avengers Alliance. Oh no, I can't even remember what it was called. It was on the tablet. It was not...
Ultimate Alliance. Yeah, I have that on my Switch actually, and I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sad Jess is not in the game.
Yeah, no,
but I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, true. No, this was something on a tablet. I think it was called Alliance as well.
Yeah, Avengers Alliance. Yeah, Ultimate Alliance. Yeah, and it was, and then Ultimate Alliance 3 is on the Switch now.
Yeah,
but
right.
Yeah. And then there was Marvel Heroes, which was like an MMO sort of thing, almost like Diablo, right. I guess, in playstyle. And Jess was in that, and my girl Laura Bailey was her voice, and I'm really sad that.
Well, okay.
Yeah, and I'm really sad that just when they were going to get ready to release Jessica to the game, they took the game offline, and I was so mad about it. I was like, are you kidding me right now? I was so mad.
Yeah.
Because I was literally getting ready to pay for it. I was going, all right, Jess is coming. I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to play my girl. Nope.
Bang. Nothing. Zip.
Yeah.
That's a bit disappointing. Yeah.
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 And the Avengers game on Steam and Switch, that was actually a very good game, and I'm sad that's going offline. That's a bummer too.
Oh, I've never played that. Would love to.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay.
But it's gone. It's gone. Yep. I hear the Guardians of the Galaxy game is good though.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, I guess we should get into our discussion.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is Seren and I, we wanted to kick off, do things right, to kick off at the start. So, I mean, this is very much a setup issue, but let's get into it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start here. New Avengers #1, I believe it's called Breakout.
Mm-hmm.
Released on December 1st, 2004, almost 20 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Shit. Cover date of January 2005. Writers are Brian Michael Bendis, penciler David Finch, inker Danny Miki, colorist, hey, it's Frank D'Armata. Mm-hmm. Letters, Richard Starkings and Albert Deschesne,
I think. I'm not sure.
Deschesne, yes. Editors Tom Brevoort, Nicole Wiley, Molly Lazer, and Andy Schmidt.
Yep. And these are this is available in floppy format, of course. That's how it was originally released. It's on Marvel Unlimited. You can also buy it if you want from the Marvel app or from Comixology or Kindle. There have been various trade paperbacks, and there has been an omnibus of New Avengers, which is out of print. But those are the formats that you can read this in as well. Before we head into, the meat of our discussion as well, Seren, just wanted to put up on screen, we have some variant covers. So...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So standard cover here, which is kind of, I don't know, would you say it's iconic? I mean, I recognize it a lot. Just the Breakout cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do get Jess there. She's on the far left. So that's by David Finch. And then there is a variant cover there by Joe Quesada. I also want to say as well that there are textless or virgin covers of these. These covers as well.
Right.
So that's another variant on top of everything else. But this is quite a nice one from Joe Quesada. When he was still penciling, I guess. Steve McNiven has done
I like that one.
like a predominantly
cover.
Spidey cover as well. And I think have I got any more? Oh yeah, there's a second.
I've seen this one. I think I actually might have that cover.
Yeah, there's a second printing as well, which is pretty cool cover as well by David Finch. It's got them kind of forming, I don't know, like a pillar almost, the heroes, and of course Jess.
She's the only woman on the team right now. That's interesting.
And what I love about this run is that she's quite prominent, so that's really good. Well, when I say
they're still on the big muscles from the 90s too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, early 2000s. And there was also a director's cut as well. So on the screen, I should mention to our podcasters as well that we do have a video. It's on YouTube. So some of the visual references or references that we make for visual aids, it's for that. You can go check us out on YouTube if you want as well. So a director's cut. Have you read the director's cut, Seren?
I have not. I did not know it existed until this very moment.
Yeah, I didn't know it either as well. So, those are the covers for it. So what we'll do, listeners, as always, Seren and I will go through a synopsis, this time again provided by Wiki, and then we'll just talk freely about this issue. We'll try to focus in on Jess's involvement, and what lies ahead. I guess looking at writing and art as well. So, and we'll. Do you want to give it a score at the end, Seren, or?
Yeah, we'll give it a score. Why not?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, we do have Wiki here, and Seren, color coded. I'm not sure if we want to.
Yeah, I'll take the red.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Our synopsis, as Ray said, is written by the Wiki. Thank you, Wiki.
Thank you, Wiki.
With the Avengers disbanded and both the Fantastic Four and the X-Men preoccupied, a mysterious figure hires Electro to perform a job, a big one. Matt Murdock, Luke Cage, and Foggy Nelson meet with Jessica Drew on the raft, the maximum security installation on Rikers Island. The quartet is ushered through the raft to see Murdock's client. The raft holds the worst of the worst, 8 levels of superpowered serial-killing maniacs, including the Purple Man, who Luke Cage holds a personal grudge with. Getting inside an elevator, they travel 8 levels underwater to the bottom level where all the generators suddenly power down. Not restricted to the raft, the entire city of New York is plunged into darkness. Civilians have a moment to ponder this power outage when lightning bolt tears into the raft.
Peter Parker first sees the power outage as a blessing as it gets him out of watching a Hugh Grant movie with his wife. A blessing until he notices the bolt of lightning coming down on the raft. Spider-Man piggybacks a ride to the island on the underside of a S.H.I.E.L.D. helicopter, one that gets hit by a stray lightning blast, causing it and Spider-Man to plummet to the river. Spider-Man swims through the freezing water and is greeted on the raft by the helicopter's official passenger, Captain America. Meanwhile, inside the raft, Electro materializes out of a ball of lightning, collects the person he was freeing, and to cover their escape, frees the remainder of the prisoners. As explosions rock the raft, Murdock makes Jessica Drew take them to his client, and opening his cell, Murdock pleads to the disheveled hermit for help. When asked, Murdock reveals that the man is the Sentry, the most powerful superhero on the planet, serving a voluntary sentence for killing his wife. So, there you go, Spider Babies. An action-packed one, Seren, I guess. That again, I say it really does set up what is to come. But overall, I mean, what did you think? What was your first impression after reading this?
I've read it a couple times now.
Yeah.
So The art is a little leaves something to be desired for me. I mean, it's very good art, but my problems with the art come in later issues, not necessarily this one. But I like it. I think it's a good setup. As we know, like there's a synopsis at the start that says, "Hey, the Avengers are disbanded because you know, Scarlet Witch did some things, so you know, we disbanded them." So this is also before Civil War, so they're not outlawed yet. But you know, it's a good setup, and the next episode gets really fun. So if you don't know, a dynamic I would love to see more of is Jessica Drew and Matthew Murdock.
Oh yes, would
I ship them real hard.
Let me
just out of the blue.
Yeah, we get them early on anyway here as well. Just
yeah,
visually, yeah.
We don't see enough of these two together, and I really think they would be fun together. So I kind of ship it. They're my second. It's my second Jessica Drew ship after her and Carol. But you know, so yeah, Matt Murdock is always sexy. Jessica Drew is always great, and yeah, I don't know. I liked it. It's a good setup. Purple Man looks more blue than purple.
yeah.
But I do like how Bendis is kind of like seeding the thread he had with Alias from here, you know. Also, what else can I say? I don't know. Do we want to spoil some Secret Invasion stuff yet, or no?
Oh yeah, I mean we could, as we go. I guess. I mean it is a really old story. I don't know. I'm always in two minds. You're right, Seren, because like maybe those relatively new to Spider-Woman and the storyline, maybe it's worth holding off on that. I don't know, but I mean, part of the reason why we're doing this as well, listeners, is we're trying to build up towards. There is a release of Secret Invasion.
When is that coming out again?
I think it's mid-year, maybe. I can't remember. It's definitely this year. It could be as early as March, but I don't want to say. Let me have a check. Let me have a little check. Secret Invasion, because I know it's this year for sure. That's one of the main things.
Is it already out and I missed it?
No.
I'd be very upset if that was the case.
Let me just vamp for time here. Come on, internet, do your thing. Whatever happened to the internet being instantaneous? I'll tell you. Here we go. Going to be, when is the release date? May 2023. So May.
Oh, okay.
Middle of this year. Yeah. So well, hopefully, I mean, there's a bit to cover as well, Seren, isn't there? Like if we do issue by issue.
Yeah.
So we'll see how we go. We haven't exactly, measured it out. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe we can touch a little bit on it. I don't know, Seren. Anyway,
I don't know.
I just know,
I'm just gonna say as we go through this series to pay attention.
Yeah,
because the hints are there.
Yep. I'm going to say
here.
That's
all I'm going to say.
I'm going to say here, Seren, straight off the bat as well. Don't want to give anything away. I noticed we talk a lot about Jess's eyes. Her eyes are brown.
We do.
Brown in this one. So.
Yeah.
No.
They're like a hazel. They're not quite. They're not quite brown.
Okay.
But they're not quite green. I like that in between, which is closer than a lot of people get. Because sometimes they get blue eyes.
Yeah, okay. I just something as I noticed as we're kind of flicking through these pages, but yeah, first impression as well. I mean, I enjoyed it. Well, obviously, I like the fact that
I kind of like this. Jess kind of digs herself a hole here. She gets a little overconfident. Oh yeah, we're so secure. You're fine, Foggy, because Foggy's freaking out, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And we're fine. It's gonna be fine. No, and then of course, Jess talks up how secure the place is, and then what happens?
Yeah, well, that's, if anything, that's probably one of my little pinch points, my little quibbles. Like, fair play. I know Electro is quite powerful, but the raft is meant to be like maximum security, right? If you get like a second tier supervillain being able to free these prisoners so easily, I mean that kind of really undercuts the
unless Electro had assistance.
Yeah, true. But I don't know. I think it's still granted,
No, I get you.
yeah, I
I
mean,
know Electro should not be able to do this solo.
yeah, and look, granted, if it is
It's
unbreakable, then
comic
we won't
books.
have a story because no one can crack into it. You know what I mean? So you have to do it, I
Right.
guess. But maybe Bendis moves really quickly on this one because in issue 1, like we get it, and all of a sudden we get the introduction of Electro, and then boom, the breakout has
Right.
already occurred.
Right.
I'm no writer, but I'm thinking like it would have been cool if a little bit of a build up to it a bit more,
Right.
and to make this kind of impenetrable raft seem impenetrable rather than so easily be given up. But
Right.
yeah.
I mean, it is terrifying because you're 8 stories below the water, and that
Yeah.
is freaking terrifying.
Oh, absolutely.
I agree with Foggy in this case. I mean, he's got Luke Cage and Daredevil with him. Also, I have to laugh at that comment where Jess is like, "I'm so sorry you got outed," and Matt is still denying
Oh yeah,
that he's
yeah.
Daredevil.
He's still playing it up. Yeah. Well done. You got to keep it up.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's like, and then that throws me back to this line from the Dennis Hallam run, where she's like, "Yeah, I remember this from one of Matt Murdock's I'm Not Daredevil parts." It was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
But I mean, the dialogue, is good, and sometimes people can get really critical with Bendis. I think he does a good job. I mean, these days it's sometimes questionable, but I think here in this run, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love the idea that here, like, there's that blackout, and Jess is kind of reassuring them, "Don't worry, the generators will come up. Don't worry, this is all fine." And then it just doesn't. It's like the generators are powering down.
Of course, because that would be Jessica's luck.
Yeah, exactly.
I do want to point this out. I have to point this out because I can't point this out.
Yes.
And we can cut it out of this thing here.
Oh.
But Matt Murdock, in this scene, in this comic, this is not the real Jessica Drew. This is Veronki.
Yeah.
She has already been replaced.
Yes.
And Matt Murdock doesn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're thinking he should with the senses and all that?
Like that's how good, like he could tell when someone is lying, and
that's true.
It's just that good.
Yeah, no, that's true. I always took it on the other way, that like, the powers of imitation. But you're right, actually, beyond just physical appearances, there should be some telltale signs, that someone like that Daredevil can pick up.
But of course, Daredevil didn't know Jess until now. So there's also that.
Well, yeah, there you go. So potentially.
But anyway, I need if anyone from Marvel listens to this podcast, please give me the Jessica Drew and Daredevil team up. I've got the cover. I'm gonna frame it one of these days. I love that cover. It is my most favorite cover. Yeah. I need Daredevil and Spider-Man and Jessica Drew. I don't care if it's just a 5-issue miniseries. I need them to fucking team up. All right.
Hey, look, I think Seren, we can keep this in. Look, 20 years, right? What I'll do, I'll put a huge disclaimer on our episode, like, so people, there will be spoilers, but I think it's safe to be able to spoil stuff.
It's 20 years.
20 years, yeah. I mean, otherwise we've spoiled stuff from the 70s,
Right.
Sorry,
that's true.
Yeah. So
you're right.
Yeah. So you're right. Yeah. So Veronki leads into the secret invasion. This is not Jess, but it is fun to just think that this is Jess. If you're a first-time reader.
Well, if you're a Spider-Woman fan,
yeah.
I mean, fuck, who cares? It's Jess.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and no one knew at this time going in that it was Jess.
No,
like it wasn't Jess. Jess, because Secret Invasion is like still like 5 years away.
Yeah.
So.
And she. And the fact that she's so prominent here, and I love it. Full credit to Bendis. I mean, we know Bendis's history with Jess. It's great. So, So, look, the art I don't mind as well. It's very kind of, as you were mentioning, bulky muscles. Kind of that
very
earlier
2000s. It's like the last dregs of 90s art.
Yeah, some David Finch, and for those who don't know, I do a Moon Knight podcast, and he draws one of the seminal runs there with Charlie Houston around the same time as well, 2006. So he's
Yeah, you can also see a little bit of an influence of what's his name? I don't like the right artist. He's kind of the one who made Deadpool. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Oh, Rob Liefeld. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see. I was actually thinking of that
Yeah.
Casada cover, and it was very throwback to that. But
Ah,
anyway,
yes. Yeah, yeah. Um, I found interesting. It was cool that Spidey. I thought we get a point of view POV for Spidey with the whole blackout, and we
mm-hmm.
get his journey, so to speak, to his eventual journey to the raft. Um,
Right.
so you know, just a few throwaway comments here, like with Mary Jane, just not wanting to watch. I'm assuming it's a rom com. Talking about Hugh
Yeah.
Grant, so a little bit of a little bit of humor there. But yeah, we get it from his point of view, and I think Finch
I
does a
do
great
like
job.
that shot. That
Yeah,
shot there is really good.
he
That's a really
does.
good
He
shot.
does a great Spidey, I think. Yeah. Torrential rain, things aren't going well, and I love this point of. I can swing around in the city. There are buildings, but how do I get to the island? So
Right.
he has to wait for. He has to basically hitchhike off a helicopter that goes by.
Oh, but guess who's in that
Yeah,
helicopter?
yeah. Well, you get an inkling. They could talk. The pilot talks about a captain or something, or the person off screen says, "Don't worry, soldier." So yeah, it's like, oh, I
Yeah.
wonder who. Um, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very and like I thought it's. I mean, without going through panel by panel, Saren, about what happens, it's. I guess the overall impression was that it sets things up really good. I mean, quickly
Right.
we
Right.
we get Spidey straight away in the mix. He gets not even a little bit of an adventure. Like he hangs off the helicopter, a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
action there, but you get him reconvene meeting up with a big hero shot here of Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
So he obviously survived the helicopter thing. But what did you make of the? And it's really hard to discuss this, Saren, because we've both read it. It's like there aren't any surprises. But what
Mm-hmm.
what did you think of the client, Matt Murdock, that's being a Sentry?
I truly know nothing about the Century
Oh, okay,
at all.
yeah,
So, other than what I've read here in like this whole series,
hmm
he's like the most powerful, but that's all well and good.
yeah,
I really don't know much about him. I don't even remember the last time I read a recent comic with him in it.
yeah. I think,
So I really he doesn't do much for me. He's never a character that garnered a lot of my sympathy. Even
mm,
as I read this series, he was just not one
yeah,
I latched onto.
yeah. He is a pretty troubled character. So I guess there's a huge point of difference because there's a correlation that you obviously you put with Superman. He's people have argued that he's the Superman of the Marvel universe because he's really powerful. But I think they've since really developed him in the sense that he has a lot of mental troubles,
Hmm.
and he's a lot more fragile, and he's got this. Alter ego, I think called the Void, I think, which is very evil. Um, I can't remember back here, like 20 years ago, whether all that stuff was already done for him, or whether he was just this, I don't know, conflicted kind of Superman character. But I guess the takeaway for it would be that the fact that Matt Murdock is his client is like one of the most powerful beings, basically in the
Right.
raft. So there
Right.
was level of like this is scary, like
Right. Well,
yeah.
well, I think Murdoch said that he was here to check on him
Mm.
because at Reed Richards' behest.
Yes, right. Yeah, so I can't remember. Admittedly, I'm not uh, an avid fan of the Century, so I've never really followed his
Yeah.
trajectory. But I'm assuming then that yeah, he's been having some troubles. Hence the killing of his wife, but hence the huge remorse. It's not like he's pure evil or anything like that.
Right.
But yeah, and the fact that the Fantastic Four are wanting to keep tabs on him
Yeah,
shows
and
that.
he's
Yeah.
staying in a shithole. His cell is a whole shithole. Look at it.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't mind it. He's just slumped in the corner there in his costume
Yep.
still. Um, but yeah, but backtracking a bit from that as well, I love the art with Electro here. As he
Yeah, the lighting
the
is
light,
really good.
yeah.
Is really good.
So we see from the outset, of course, that he gets
I wonder how much of
contracted.
this art was done digitally back then.
Mm,
Like when did artists start moving from paper to like digital coloring and things like
I
that.
think it was like the early 2000s, because I know definitely around this time they were using. You can see it a little bit here with the small panels of the electricity. They were using computer effects to give that sense of movement. Like
Right.
the blurred kind of look. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think they were starting to use this already.
Mm-hmm.
Say by
Probably well
2001.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably well into it. Probably well into it because we had freaking 3D animated movies like
Mm,
Toy Story in 1995. So yeah, probably.
yeah. Yeah, but looking good here, and a bit of a splash page here. Pick your identify your villains. I can see Shocker. There's
Do I see a
Jigsaw,
Typhoid Mary?
Typhoid Mary. Yes, Armadillo. Who else? We got Crossbones. Looks like the UFOs. It could be Vector. I see. What's the guy's name? He's got a very generic name. The guy with the little helmet on and the gnarled up face.
Oh God, I don't know.
Oh, you don't know?
You would think I would
The
know
control
these things, and that.
the controller. I think it's called the controller, something like that.
I don't
No.
know. You
Oh,
you
okay.
know better than I do because here's the thing: when I get comics, I fixate on specific characters and
Ah, yeah,
only read books of those specific characters.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's fair enough.
So I miss out on a lot that way.
Yeah. Also, a little bit of as you're saying, the last dregs of the '90s. I can see Electro there with his pouches, still drawn.
Hmm.
Practicality, zilch. But yeah. So this
I
issue.
don't think pouches are impractical. I think they are quite practical.
Well, I mean,
They're like
actually, having said
little
that,
things, like
yeah, you're right. Hey, if you're wearing spandex, actually, it's very practical because you've got no pockets, right? So pouches
right.
would give you the opportunity. Yeah, you're right. You're right. He's probably
Not
got
that
his
impractical.
house keys in there or something.
Yeah.
A
I
little,
mean, it's
yeah.
either that or one giant fanny pack.
Which I don't know. No matter how you wear it, it still looks a little bit geeky. Not as cool as pouches, right? I don't know.
I don't know. I wore a fanny pack to the cons
Yeah,
because
well,
that's
they're
way better than a
practical.
bag.
They are practical. They're good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't care what I look like at a con. We all look like, I'm walking down the hall with people dressed like Captain America,
Yeah.
so it doesn't.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I do have like one as well, but it's one for the gym. It's like a fanny pack, but it's flexible. So
Right.
if it's basically it looks like a belt unless you put stuff in it, and then it
Ah,
starts.
gotcha.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's very handy actually. Yeah, I've got to say. Uh, But yeah, as far as I don't know, Sarah, as far as this goes, I mean, it's mainly a setup. We basically get introduced to Spider-Man and Captain America on the raft. There's a big
Hmm.
breakout. That's what it is. But on the side
All
of
there is to it.
exactly, and on the side of Jessica Drew, she gets to interact with Daredevil, and we get to learn. That's it. We get to learn that the Sentry
Right.
is the client. Um,
Right. And we learn what Jess has been up to since,
yeah,
God was a boy. So she's like, I've been with Shield for a couple of years, blah, 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 blah,
that's right.
blah.
I found that. Yeah, I found that interesting. That was good because again, what we saw prior, her interactions with Nick Fury,
Right.
about him trying to get her on board. So this Jess at least is saying that. Yep, this is what she's been
Yeah.
doing. So that's
Right.
that was good.
So it gives some context for people. And truly, like at this time, there was a whole contingent of people who didn't even know who Jess was.
Mm,
Because that's how long she had been out of the comics for.
yeah,
So this is like a lot of people's first exposure to her as a character in general. And she quickly, because of the series, had her like renaissance of popularity, which is amazing. I'm sorry, I'm
mm.
cleaning off my desk. It's really
Uh,
dusty.
that's all right. That's all right. Yeah. So yeah, this is good. I can't wait to kind of really get into this whole series. I mean, you and I, we did touch upon. I think it's issue 10 or something. So we did jump there
Yeah.
briefly, but we'll go through it all, and
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
basically, as you say, Sharon, we're tracking the journey of Jess and
Mhm.
Jess.
It's gonna
and
get wild when we get to Secret Invasion because then we'll be covering like 4 different series with her in it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I can't wait. But yeah, I mean, unless there's anything else, Seren,
I'll just give it a good solid. Let's say I'll give this 4.5 helicopter rides to the raft out of 5.
okay, well, so that's pretty good. Yeah, that's yeah. Look, I mean, I've got nothing against it. I think it's quite solid as things go, but I really do think it's like building us up into something. I would have given it. I will give it. Sorry, about a 3.5. Only that.
Yeah,
It
you're
just.
better than you're far more of a discerning critic than I am. I guess I really I should give it a 4. I should give it a 4.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but I don't know about you, Seren. I just after reading it, it's as if you're
It leaves
you're
off
still
on a
hungry.
cliffhanger.
Yeah, but you're
It
still
leaves
hungry.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So well,
and it's a setup. It is a setup, so you can't expect too much. But yeah, I don't know. I felt. I mean, the dialogue interactions were good. I don't know, just something was missing. I thought, but I can't pinpoint it. But again, if you read this as part of a whole, like if you go straight into issue 2 and all that, then I think it works a lot better once. It's made. I mean, it has.
Issue 2 is gonna like when we get to issue 2, it'll be a lot. Issue 2 is a fun one.
Yeah, definitely. So, Spider-Man, we do have some feedback of sorts. I would like to call them out anyway. Yes. Seren, do you want to take the first one or second one? Or...
I have no idea where these feedbacks are.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there we go. I found them down below. Okay, so we've got a couple, don't we? Nice. Yeah. I think I saw one from Jess about the Drew and Murdoch dynamic, and I'm glad someone else agrees with me on that.
Yes.
So let's see. This is from a Robert Bates on Facebook. I am a huge Jessica Drew fan, and so was Bendis. I heard that Alias was originally going to be about her former hero. Down on her luck now, private PI with a few issues and a purple reason for being absent from the MU since the Byrne Spider-Woman. Marvel didn't want her in the Marvel Max book. That is true. Mm-hmm. So disappointed, but inspired. Jessica Drew became Jessica Jones, and the dual identity was created and retconned into the Avengers. I wish he got his way, and when he did, he added her to the roster of new Avengers. Mm-hmm. I was sore about Avengers Disassembled, but Jessica Drew made it hurt way less.
Yeah.
I was introduced to Spider-Woman when I was a kid. New comics were rather expensive at the time, $1.25. Yikes. That's, Woo, so expensive.
Crazy.
I wish they were still that now. And me being thrifty, I tended to hit the quarter bin instead. This is how I was introduced to Jessica Drew as the Spider-Woman. And she is the Spider-Woman. Julia Carpenter's great, guys, but Jessica Drew is the Spider-Woman. Mm-hmm. I 100% agree with that. And my other Marvel favorite, the New Mutants. I can go on the Mutants, but that's just me. I got nearly both runs complete from the very same quarter bins I was picking through as a kid. Nice. At that time, nobody wanted them, but they're way big deals. Now I only wish to see a live-action Spider-Woman movie starring Jessica Drew. I think we're not that far off from it.
I don't think we are as well, yeah.
If she gets a good response across the Spider-Verse, guys, I think we're going to be good. Mm-hmm. Spider-Woman from Into the Spider-Verse is a Jessica Drew and looks fun, but I don't see anything developing for 616 Jess. Carla Pacheco was, she was. She's doing so well with her soul, and I loved every single minute. I'm sorry it only lasted 21 issues, but these days that is a pretty solid run, especially for a female-led book. Truth.
Yes.
Well, look at Carol, man. Carol's getting up on 50. I am so happy for that.
Well,
so keep buying your Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I hope to see more Jester soon. Me too, guys. We know she's showing up in Avengers here and there. I haven't read the new one because I don't like the artist. She's showing up in Captain Marvel. Keep writing Marvel. Telling her you want Jessica Drew. Keep telling them you love seeing her in Captain Marvel because Kelly Thompson writes them so good.
Yep. And she's in Spider-Man. I mean, she was just for a bit. She'll be back.
Yeah.
I mean,
she'll be back.
Yeah. I mean, Spider-Man was dissolved as well. So
right. So this is not the drought that we had from like 78 to 2004. Mm-hmm. We did have a brief drought from 2017 to 2020. So that was a 3-year drought.
3 years. Yeah.
She did. Yeah, but she did show up in like Spider-Geddon and stuff.
She did.
But there were and Strike Force, which is so great. Read Strike Force, guys.
Tini Howard. Yep.
Oh God, it's a fun book. But like, so she had a 2-year drought. So she was gone from like 2017 to the middle to the end of 2019 before she started trickling in comics again. Mm-hmm. Marvel hasn't done that this time. They've kept her in stuff.
Yep.
Like even though the Pacheco and Hooray run ended, which was still a fantastic run, and the longest a woman writer has stayed on Jess. Mm-hmm. it still wasn't a full drought. It wasn't like she just
No.
disappeared for a year and a half like she
Yeah.
did last time. Like they have kept her in things, even like Captain Marvel. She has been a solid presence in Captain Marvel. She's not in every issue, but she's got to be in like every second or third issue, and that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you got to keep writing, letting Marvel know you love these things. Keep writing about Captain Marvel. Your pre-orders and your everything of that, it all counts.
Mm-hmm.
So keep doing it, guys, because truly it helps.
Yeah, and look, I put it down to Kelly Thompson. You know, love of the Carol, and the love for Jess that Jessica is in that.
Kelly Thompson, and I loved Kelly Sue DeConnick's run. Kelly Thompson writes the best Carol. That's all there is to
Kelly
it.
Thompson's awesome. She's one of my favorite writers. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why Jess is in the peripheries of us all is obviously because of her involvement, I think, on screen. So
right.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, you know, she gains a lot more popularity or a lot more notice in Across the Spider-Verse. In which case I do see these things like comics and films being symbiotic, and you'll see if she does really well there, we'll get more of Jess, and since she has been established as carrying a solo series, it's only a matter of time before we'll get another one. Yeah. So but yeah, so let's just hope that the droughts remain kind of less so, but it's fun to see her in other titles and make appearances as well. But I'd love her.
I love Jess on Avengers. I want her on a main Avengers title though. I don't want her in whatever the crap is she's in now. That what's his name is drawing, and I know what his name is. I'm not going to say his name.
Yeah.
Because I hate his art. I'm sorry, I do.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I'm sorry. If there's one artist like that, I'll get a cover maybe, but that's like where I draw the line. If he's like the cover artist on a book I want, and I know the interior artist and the writer are really good, then I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
But if he's the interior artist, you can't. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Well, I am my dream, Seren, is so Jason Aaron is finishing up his run on Avengers, and it is going to be taken over by.
That was a very good run. I know some people were lukewarm on it.
Yeah, I'm a bit more lukewarm. But yeah, I mean, there were some good points in it. But it's going to be taken over by Jed McKay, one of my favorites.
Oh shit, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, and my dream would be that he introduces Jess in that, and that would be absolutely.
Can
awesome.
you know, since you can you like just be like, hey Jed?
Yeah.
Can you put Jess on the Avengers team, please?
I know. I wish I only could, but you know how these creators are as well, and
I know.
I just don't want to
insinuate
anything.
He's had his team picked for like the last 6 months. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like before it was even announced, he had his team picked, so there's nothing we can do about it.
Oh, no, there is nothing. Yeah. But I
bet he'll have Tiger. Is he going to have Moon Knight and Tiger on the team? I bet he will.
Oh, I reckon that they will appear. Just the mere fact that they've been in his sandbox. But to have Jessica on there, awesome. I can't wait. I'll be picking up that title.
I'll probably be picking it up anyway, just to check it out. I hope Carol's on it too.
I hope so as well. Like she's cool. Well, Wanda, isn't it? I like Wanda. So, and Vision. So they got the old Wanda and Vision in there. So that's cool. And I think most of them then are. Yeah, I think they're.
You can't have an Avengers team without Cap and Iron Man.
Yeah, Cap and Iron Man. I can't remember if Carol's in it. She might be in there. Like
I mean, she's like. I feel like nowadays, I know the big three used to be Thor, Cap, and Iron Man, but now I feel like the big three are Carol, Steve, and Tony, or Cap, Iron Man, and Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cap, and Iron Man.
Cap, and Iron Man. Exactly, the two caps.
Good cap, bad cap.
Cap squared.
I say, who made? No, there was one of the two. I think Carol made the joke about doing a good cap, bad cap routine.
Oh, really?
The two of them. Yeah, it was actually pretty funny.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really funny. It was a funny joke, and I appreciated that. I don't know who made that joke, who the writer was, but I appreciated it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, just you got to keep writing. Don't be jerks about stuff, guys. Be nice to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Be nice to the creators. Like, you might not agree with everything they do, but don't be a jerk. That's all.
Yeah.
You get a lot more mileage by being a good fan than a bad fan.
Exactly.
Frustration is allowed, but don't be a jerk about it.
That's right. Be respectful.
Yep.
A second one from our Facebook page, Paco B. Garcia. mentions this was the first time I read a comic book with Spider-Woman in it. So referring to New Avengers issue 1. It was 2004 and 5, so I'd known the character for about 20 years. I discovered her in the 80s thanks to some stickers my parents bought me, and I remember that I spent hours staring at them. I found the picture on the internet. I lost track of mine decades ago, sadly. I already knew all the other characters quite well, and I'd keep reading their stories for years, but I only ran into Jessica Drew in a couple of Wolverine comic books, which I'm assuming
That
was
sounds about right.
the early Peter David, I think it was. I can't remember. Or Chris Claremont.
No,
Claremont?
it was
No?
Claremont.
Claremont,
Yeah.
So to me, she was a completely mysterious character whose costume and appearance brought back quite powerful childhood memories. It was really cool meeting her at last and fighting next to a selection of Marvel's most popular characters, no less. And then, spoiler alert, I might as well again, yeah. It turned out I hadn't been reading comic books with Spider-Woman in them after all, which felt somewhat bittersweet and confusing. Oh, thanks, Bucko.
Yeah, a lot. That was a big rug pull. See, that had all happened afterwards. So when I discovered, when I started reading, so Jess, I started reading comics, and I don't even know. I started with like Black Widow, and that branched out into Captain Marvel because everyone was reading Captain Marvel, and then Jess was showing up at Captain Marvel, so I picked up Spider-Woman because she had an ongoing, and I went, "Holy crap, she's my favorite character now." And then I started backtracking and reading shit, and then it was really interesting for me as it wasn't like a huge rug out from under me because she wasn't the character. Like I didn't have any. I thought it was a fucking cool reveal when I went.
It was just
oh shit!
Yeah.
I literally went, oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit! It's never been her this whole time.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's fucked up. I was so excited about it. It was so great.
It's what happens when you kind of like you build up. Like I'm talking about the writers and whatever the story, editors, editorial. When you invest the time to build it up and get readers comfortable, because that's the most impact. Yeah, it was amazing. Secret Invasion still remains one of my favorite.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. So
and now going back, you can kind of see like
it's fun to do.
That's why I said we need to pay attention because now we can start kind of seeing the little threads. Now that we know how it ends, we can start seeing where it started to thread.
Yes,
honestly, I feel like Matt Murdock not picking up on who Jess is one of the first ends.
Yeah, it's like watching a mystery movie or whatever, and then after having watched it, you go back and then you can say, these are the little hints or the little things that, which you didn't pick up in the first instance. Yeah, so very exciting to cover it, and thank you so much, Paco, for your thoughts.
Yes.
Finally, Seren, there is just one from our good friend Rustin.
Yeah. Hey, Rustin.
Yes, and it's from Instagram. Not sure how spoilery you are wanting the discussion.
Let's just make it spoilery.
Yeah,
We've decided we're allowing it.
We might as well do it. Did it on the fly. This series definitely had some highs and lows for Jess. So much that happened before this issue hasn't really been explored for her.
That's true.
Yes. So
that's very true. We only have one little one shot. And now I'm wondering if we should dig up that one shot and do
maybe we should.
an episode of that one. Or do we want to do that one shot episode when we get into Secret Invasion? No, what? We will. We will do this one shot. We will do this one shot when we'll get to a part here where she explains it. I know she explains it and we see a little bit of a flashback here. But we actually get more of the story in this little, this giant-sized Spider-Woman. And we get actually a little bit, like we have a little bit of a flashback in this series.
Yep.
But we have more of the whole story in this one.
Yes.
And I don't know if we should save it for here or if we should wait for it in Secret Invasion.
Well, sounds like something we can do with a poll, Sarah, and maybe we throw it to our Spider Baby patrons. We ask because I'm happy to do either, and I think that'd be great. I think I'll be excited to cover it.
Or we do it both times because by the time we get to Secret Invasion,
it'll be a while, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a lot to cover between now and then because. We've got a lot to cover between now and then.
Yeah.
So we would to get our Secret Invasion coverage to time up with the show.
Yep.
That's a lot of podcasting we'll have to do. I'm not sure we're gonna get it all quite done.
Exactly. So May. So what's that? That's so a couple of months.
Like 9 weeks.
9 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. We're gonna have to reconvene, Sarah, and figure out how we're gonna kind of space this
Yeah.
out. I don't know, because I don't think we'll. Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to.
I'm sure there are some issues we can skip that aren't.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. No, good one. No, but thank you, Rustin. And yes, looking forward to sharing this revisit journey with you and all the other Spider patrons, of course. This actually segues brilliantly into a big thank you to our sponsors as well, Seren.
Yes.
Yeah, just I mean, I was just looking
We're
at
keeping the lights on. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, so huge thanks to Miriam, Rustin, Eric, Rick, and Jess as well. So thank you so much for sticking with us. We love doing this, bringing this content out. We love discussing it. I love chatting Spider-Woman with you, Sarah. You're just so passionate. It's so cool.
Thank you. Well, I really enjoy talking about Jess. I know I've been a lot quieter on social media. It seems like, well, no, it's not true. I have not necessarily been quieter. I've been quieter on the Jess front because my current hyperfixation is still critical. Right?
Fair enough.
But that does not mean I love Jess any less.
No,
but more of my attention has been diverted to Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I also have a D&D group now. We have a good time. So
the movie's coming out soon, isn't it?
It is. I'm not sure I'm going to see the movie. We'll see. There's a bit of a kerfuffle within the D&D community within the last few. I still need to see Ant-Man, guys.
Oh, you should. No spoilers.
I heard it's really good.
I really enjoyed it.
Ant-Man movies are always fun. Like
when
I go see an Ant-Man movie, I'm not expecting like Endgame level storytelling. I'm expecting a good damn time.
Yeah.
Although apparently this is a big setup for like a whole bunch of shit for the MCU, so I'm still really excited. But I generally with Ant-Man movies, I expect a good damn time. So as long as I get that, that's all I care about.
You are going to get it. It's a very different Ant-Man movie, but it's still just as funny. It has all the same heart, and I tend to kind of blank out the white noise sometimes online. I mean, everyone is obviously entitled to their opinion, but like sometimes it just feels like people are just waiting to jump on and watch Marvel fail or MCU fail and go, haha, finally, they're not doing anything good. I mean, this movie's been panned.
Whatever, people. If you had a good time watching it, who gives a shit what other people say? Go to Rotten Tomatoes, tell them you liked it, and get that score up.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna like it because there's not. I'm way behind on Marvel stuff, but I will see Ant-Man. In the theaters because I love Ant-Man.
Yes,
especially Paul Rudd's Ant-Man because that was some A+ casting right there.
He's cool. Yeah, and I really enjoyed. I don't know her name. The actor who plays Cassie. She does a really good.
Cast her.
Yeah, she does a really good job. Like I really enjoyed her take on it. She's got nice chemistry with Paul Rudd.
Okay. Yeah. So what young Avengers are we missing now? Because I think we've got them all.
Yeah. Exactly. What aren't we missing? I think we've got most of them, don't we?
Right, and we've got Ironheart now too.
Yeah, Ironheart as well.
So,
Riri's in there.
Yeah, so
it's all good. It's all a go. We just need Hulkling. We just need
we just need Hulkling and Wiccan, right?
Wiccan has been WandaVision.
Oh, we have Wiccan. We have Wiccan.
Yeah.
And Speed, right? No, what's his
name? I don't know, but
Wiccan and.
Yes, it's a very generic name as well. I know, yeah.
Speed, right?
I think it's Speed. I think isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know. Fuck if I know. I'm so bad at this.
Fast boy.
And then and then so we need Hulkling then.
Yeah.
So we're just still waiting on Hulkling.
I think that's
maybe he'll show up in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Could. You never know. Could. So we'll see. Watch this space. Next episode, listeners, Seren, again, I guess we'll probably want to take this conversation offline just to see whether because we usually do the classic and then the modern, but depending on like if we are heading towards Secret Invasion, maybe we run with modern for a bit. I don't know.
We'll try because I have some scheduling things coming up, so we'll talk.
Yeah, exactly. We'll talk. But yes, I mean I think that pretty much covers it for this episode, Seren. It's cool. You've got Critical Role and Dungeons and Dragons. I've got a bit of a distraction with Marvel Champions.
You've got your Marvel Champions and about 75 million other podcasts you got to do.
No. Yeah, that does keep me on my toes, I must say. But yeah, no, it's been great. Great chatting as always.
As always. And I guess until next time.
To know her is to fear her.
Yeah. If you'd like to contact us with your thoughts on Spider-Woman and her amazing series, you can drop us a line at spiderwomanpod@gmail.com. We are also on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for Spider-Woman Pod or To Know Her Is to Fear Her, a Spider-Woman podcast. Catch us on Twitter at Spider-Woman Daily or on Discord, Tumblr, and Podchaser. Look for all our links to our social platforms in the show notes.
We are also proud members of The Collective, a supergroup of podcasters dedicated to covering all the characters and news in comics and beyond. Search for #TheCollectiveNet on Twitter to see the latest on all the shows, or click on the link provided in our episodes to give you a list of who's part of The Collective. Finally, please consider giving us a rating on either Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. Whether it be to sing your praises or give us pointers on how to improve the show, any ratings will help cast our web further and potentially reach out to more spider babies out there.
Thank you so much for listening to our show. We really appreciate it. Stay tuned for our next upcoming episode, but until then, remember, to know her is to fear her.
Spider-Woman and affiliated characters, stories and events are properties of Marvel Characters Incorporated. Material used and discussed within the podcast are intended for critique and review purposes only, under the fair dealing concept of the current Copyright Act. The views, information, or opinions expressed during the podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of the copyright owners.
From the time of his hatching, he was different. A potentially brilliant scholar who dreaded the structured environment of school. He educated himself in the streets, taking whatever work was available, formulating his philosophy of self from what he had learned of the world about him. And then the cosmic axis shifted, and that world changed. Suddenly, he was stranded in a universe he could not fathom. Without warning, he became a strange fowl in an even stranger land. Welcome to the one, and for some reason only, podcast about Marvel Comics' greatest talking duck, Howard the Duck, trapped in a world he never made. Hosted by myself, Noel, who's loved Howard since he was a kid.
And me, Russell, who's not new to comics, but is new to Howard. We go through a couple issues from Howard's Marvel comic book history with some creator backgrounds, storied histories, and the weird world of 1970s comic books to today's. Get ducked up in a world he never made.
Trapped in a World, the Howard the Duck podcast.
Wow!
Proud members of the Collective.